are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by The Key where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. Whether they're DC, Marvel, Image Comics, Mad Cave Studios, Dynamite, Boom Studios, any sort of comics, they all come out every Wednesday. Every Wednesday is a new comic book day, and we are here on a Thursday, September 18th, 2025, to talk about all the books that we could read in 24 hours that represent this week's new comic books. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and if you're watching us live, you are watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or maybe you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from. But if you're watching us live, you can see who our guests are, who our wonderful guests are. They've both been on the show before, and they'll both be on it again. I hope. If I have anything to do with it, then they will be back on the show again. But let me introduce first... did she say it was her 5th episode of Comic Talk? This is your 5th?
Yes.
We got Deanna. We got Deanna, aka Deanna Kinney, coming straight out of Zurich. Wait, are you in Zurich right now?
Yes.
Okay. How's the weather over in Switzerland?
Better than I expected. Warm, sunny. So it's a good time.
Okay, very nice. It's super late for you, so thanks for being on the show to talk about all the comics that you read.
Thank you for having me.
We also got Ethan. Are you in Zurich also?
I'm not in Zurich.
I
am in Gotham.
Yes. Would you want to live in Gotham?
Absolutely not. Like, unless I was actually a vigilante, like I could like defend myself. Otherwise, like I'm gonna live in the middle of nowhere, like without any superheroes, so I'm not caught in any squabbles.
Right.
Switzerland.
Are there any Swiss heroes that we know of?
I don't think so. I don't
Not
know
that I
any.
know of.
They just come here in the mountains to do some crazy stuff, like experiments, and then they leave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to live in Gotham, but there has to be some reason people are living in Gotham if we're going to talk about it, you know?
I feel like rent has to be crazy cheap. Like that's the only because ain't no way I'm gonna like deal with being Jokerized every week, Mr. Freeze, hallucinate. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Do you think
Unless,
it
like-
really affects the rent prices at this point? I think it's still,
it has
and like
to.
New York City is also pretty expensive, even though it's more dangerous than other cities.
Maybe.
That's true. I feel like Gotham's on another level.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like with Joker, like, okay, you might actually be frozen when you go to work. Like the cost of living has to be worth it. Like otherwise you could just live in New York.
True that.
Yeah. For anyone out there who's watching us live, like, comment, subscribe, hop in the chat, let us know you're out there, write a review, do your thing, whether you're watching us live or listening to the podcast. We appreciate you and however you're digesting us. Shout out to Pedro Vinicius and BP that are in our YouTube chat. So shout out to them right now. I would love to go into the intricacies of what Gotham City could be. I just came up with a theory right now, but we'll get to our reading lists because that's how Comic Talk works. We got to talk about all the comics that came out this week, and there's a lot that we got to go over. But I was thinking to myself that, yeah, rent has to be cheap, and maybe like people get paid more there, but there's still people who are still suffering, not just because of the crime, but because they're living in squalor, which makes me think that Gotham, they probably have like really lax taxes for businesses and corporations, which makes it so that maybe those corporations bring in people from outside and pay them a lot of money to live there, which gentrifies all of Gotham and pushes the people who have been in Gotham for a while down to the squalor, and then creating this like tiered system. I just came up with it.
That actually makes
That's
sense.
a great theory.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where it's like comics should explore like the Bruce Wayne side of it and his like billionaire status and him actually being able to impact the city on an infrastructure level.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what I feel like Matt Reeves did so well by having him have like this whole like blind side that he's not able to see. He like shirked his responsibilities as Bruce Wayne and the CEO. And as a result, it kind of created a domino effect that affected the city and orphans.
We need a. It's been a long time since I've had a Batman episode of the podcast, so I will definitely write that down because I'm gonna have some more free time coming up, and I need to do some more podcast episodes. So let's get to the nitty gritty of all the books that came out this week, because there was a bunch, whether it's DC or Marvel or Image or any other comic book company. Like, there was a lot of books that came out this week, and even though it's a 5 Wednesday month. October's a 5 Wednesday month. It's also it's a 3 paycheck month. If you get paid the first Friday, you're getting 3 because there's 3 Fridays this month. So
you get paid every week?
No, every 2 weeks. But it's still 3.
Oh, every 2 weeks.
It's every 2 weeks, but in October, if you get paid the first Friday, you're getting paid the 3rd Friday and the 5th Friday.
Oh, okay. We only get paid monthly.
Oh. Yeah, everybody gets paid differently, but like I get paid every 2 weeks. It just works out this month. So, what am I gonna do with all that extra moolah? It's not that much. Yeah, maybe it's comics. Let's get back to comics. Because who has their list of books that they read this week? Or you want to go, Ethan?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So I got Deadpool and Batman, of course, number 1. Justice League Red, number 2. Nightwing, number 130, Absolute Flash, number 7, New Gods, number 10, Uncanny X-Men, number 21, The Amazing Spider-Man, number 12, Fantastic Four, number 3, and Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 38.
Nice. That is a good haul.
Yes. Good week.
All right. If anyone's out there, let us know what you guys are reading out there in our chat. We would love to. There's a good amount of people watching right now, so like, hop in the chat. Just let us know what looks good, even if you didn't pick it up this week. Deanna, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
You go first.
Okay. I read Absolute Flash 7, Justice League Red 2, Fantastic Four 3, Amazing Spider-Man 12, Deadpool Batman number 1, Miles Morales Spider-Man 38, Batman Superman World's Finest 43, Batman and Robin Year 1 11, New Avengers 4, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 2, Runaways number 4, Marvel Zombies Red Band 1, Ultimates 16, Uncanny X-Men 21, Ultimate Black Panther 20, Battle Beast 5, Crypto Last Dog of Krypton 4, Captain Planet and the Planeteers 5 from Dynamite. Battle Beast was from Image Comics. And then Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, issue number 1 from the Nacelleverse. And so, that was a lot.
That's a good list.
I was surprised. I split up my reading over like a couple days, including as of 30 seconds ago. So, we read where we can.
Buzzer beater.
Well, my list is a lot shorter.
It's okay. What'd you read?
But I got Magic 10, Absolute Flash 7, Batman and Superman World's Finest 43, Marvel and DC Deadpool Batman, but I only read the first story. Fantastic Four 3, Batman and Robin Year 1 11, The New Avengers 4, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, issue 2. Then I got Runaways 4, The Batman, The Second Night, issue 1, Star Wars Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red, issue 1, Very Long, Long Ago, issue 5, Cemetery Kids Run Rabbit, issue 2, Flow number 1, and Crypto, The Last Dog of Krypton.
Did you read Good as Dead 1?
No.
Okay,
no.
That's all right. I didn't have the cover prepped for Flow, but I did see it. I didn't read it, but I'm very interested on that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good read. A pretty good start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very interested on the premise, but we'll get to that. Between the three of us, and this is just the way the Comic Talk works, is like we hit a good amount of comics, but obviously we can't hit every comic, and there's a lot of comics out there from DC and Marvel and Image and all those comic companies that we don't get to, and then we can't really talk about if we don't get to it, but we do our best. So apologies to anyone out there. Sometimes there are hipsters in the chat, and they berate us for not reading enough indie comics, and that happens. So I'm sorry. This isn't necessarily, we can't hit everything. So apologize in advance. But as you heard from our lists, we're gonna get to a bunch. What did you guys have for your pick of the week? Let's hit those.
I really like Absolute Flash number 7.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, let's do that. I really like that Wally is coming into his power, literally, because he's been crashing out, which I like low-key loved as well. Like him like freaking out, having anxiety, but then overcoming it.
Yeah.
And then his emotional support of Gorilla Grodd. Having this.
Is it fair to call him Gorilla Grodd?
I'm used to calling him Gorilla Grodd.
I'm used to it too. But
Absolute Grodd.
Yeah.
Absolute.
He looks like Gleek from the Wonder Twins.
Absolute Gleek.
Yeah.
But Absolute Grodd and their psychic connection and how he's been like mentally helping him. And then in this issue, like the weather wizard reveal was done very well. Because I like forgot for a second that he was going to be in this issue. And then he popped up like absolute Gandalf. And he like, I loved his look. I loved his long hair. I loved the battle and like how Flash literally like allowed lightning to strike him and he took that power and that was his boost. That was a superhero move.
Yeah.
Like so it's very cool and exciting seeing him like grow into his powers and like fit that superhero mold, but like where he started versus where he is. I like the development.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was Weather Wizard from the cover because it's literally a cover of like the Flash running through like a tornado kind of scene. But what I like about this absolute DC universe, and for anyone out there who doesn't know, there are two DC universes. One is the normal Prime Earth that we know and love, and then which is also doing a great job. And then there's a core amount of titles that are absolute, and those are absolute from the absolute DC universe, which is a universe based on like struggle and corruption and whatnot, but like hope prevails. And so these characters are fresh and new, but they are characters that we know, but they're a little bit different. And like me personally, when I'm reading Absolute Flash issue 7, I it was surprising because like I don't know his power set completely, and that's kind of cool, right? Like I didn't know he could absorb lightning, but he still needs to eat to run.
Right. So I feel like it's like two different sources of energy, but they can do the same thing. Because I mean, just like as a human, like he's so human, so he has to like consume food. And if he's tired, like he can't like just like force himself to go. But then the lightning boost did kind of add something to his like superhero power set. Because the thing is that people often forget is that he's not tapping into the Speed Force. Jeff Lemire made it clear that that's not what it is. So it's like we really have to uncover what this energy source that's fueling him actually is. I know that it involves entropy, but and I feel like it's also going to involve time. But yeah, it's not the Speed Force, so this is like another type of energy we're dealing with.
Yeah, I think there's like it's kind of cool that the Absolute DC gives you enough that you are familiar and like there are certain like tropes and things, and then there's enough that like catch you off guard because. I don't know if we talked about it last time, but I think that Absolute Barry Allen is Absolute Thawne. And I know there's another girl with the Thawne last name, but I think I think Absolute Barry Allen is Absolute Thawne. Because he is evil, like we saw in the last issue.
Yeah, I think that theory has legs because it's starting to point to Barry not being as good as we maybe assumed that he was just because of the name.
Yeah.
But based off of his actions, it doesn't look like it's going that way.
Yeah. Deanna, did you read Absolute Flash?
I did. I finally caught up with all the absolute universes.
Really?
And yes, finally.
Here's a quick question for you, Deanna, before we get into this, is that like you were already reading comics before you came on Comic Talk, is why you were chosen to guest. You've been a wonderful guest. The question is, are you reading more comics now that you're on the show?
I would say so,
Okay.
yes. I also read a lot more Marvel nowadays than I used to because I was strictly just that on a Batman diet.
Yeah.
Same.
But yeah,
Same.
I opened my horizon.
That's why I'm surprised that you're reading Absolute Flash. Not that it's bad, but just because it's not Batman. So I'm like, oh,
No, no,
all
no, no, no.
right,
I'm up to date, okay?
all right, nice. So yeah, tell me what you thought.
But in comparison to the other titles, I think it moves at a much slower pace, plot-wise, which is not a bad thing. It's just the others are go, 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 go. Well, this one takes a bit more time to flesh it out, and we get a more background on really the villains and the characters than the other universe titles.
Yeah, yeah. This I think I liked. Okay, what this is issue 6. I've liked issue 5, 6, and 7, whereas I didn't necessarily like 1, 2, and 3. 4 I think was also good, but it's been ramping up for me. And I think the end of this issue, was like, oh, now it's my jam. Like I'm on track.
It picks up speed.
Yeah. And again, I mean, this show, Comic Talk, we do talk spoilers, but the joy of comics is they come out every week, and every series has a new issue every month, and you know, if you get a spoiler for one, like pick that up and like hop on. But if you want to fast forward 30 seconds, but in the end of this, when the rogues are like, no, we're all going rogue, including you, I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted from this. It's like something fresh and new, but at the same time familiar. You know?
Yeah. It's like a spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan, did you just like it because you want to like Captain Cold?
I mean,
you got him there.
I'm not gonna say it's not fully that, but I mean, no, like I genuinely like Wally West in the Absolute universe. I think some people did feel like it was going slow, like in the beginning, which I agree it was, but I also like things that take their time to build and get like background. And I love how his emotional connection was affecting his powers, how he would have these freakouts, and how that would be represented. And the art has been amazing, and I just felt very like connected to that. Like, look at Absolute Martian Manhunter as well. Like, it's not like an action-packed book. It's doing something different and saying something different in a very interesting way. So I care more about that than kind of like fitting the standard superhero mold. And so I think that's why Absolute Flash is really resonating with me, is because there's an emotional connection that Wally has to his powers, and seeing him like grow and like find his own power is very like inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also a lot younger than the other heroes are. So of course he's gonna need more time to adjust to, especially with his anxiety. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And also Captain Cold.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm gonna support him whether he's a bad guy or a good guy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that, but like even based off of the last issue where he's taking care of his sister, I'm like, see, he has a good heart.
Yeah.
I will make any excuse for him that I can.
That's fair. Me personally, I want more of Grodd because he is so like little and cute, and I want them to make like a little plushie, because like I don't get plushies anymore. I mean, every so often like I'll get it, like I don't know, I'll pick up something, but like a Pokemon thing or whatever. But that Grodd, I would love in a plushie form, because he looks like Gleek from the Wonder Twins. His brain is showing kind of like Simon from the, is it Fatal 5?
Fatal 5.
Yeah. And or no, is it, which one's the one from Legion of Superheroes? Because that's a different, that's Fearsome 5.
Yeah, that's the Fearsome 5.
Is that the Fearsome 5 and the one from Titans is Fatal, or is it the other way around?
You had it right the first time. Fatal 5 is Titans, and then Fearsome 5, because that's with like, was it like the Eye of Ekron? She
Yeah.
has, yeah.
Yeah. This is deep DC lore, but yes. So, anyway, the point being is, it's like Simon, Gleek, and Grodd put together, and I want him as a plushie.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
saying it now. Also, I can see this version of Wally going into the Prime Earth, and teaming up with Wally there. Like, I can see this character easily going back and forth.
Yeah, same.
That was Absolute Flash issue 7. Again, shout out to everybody out there. BP says that they are waiting for the trade of Batman and Robin year 1. It's gonna be a thick trade. It's 12 issues, but you're gonna be waiting a while because it's the 12th issue comes out next month. Normally they do like 6 to 8 months before a trade comes out. So we'll see.
Yep. Quick correction: Fatal 5 is Legion of Superheroes. Fearsome 5 is Titans. I like mix myself up.
Okay, so it is Fearsome 5. Okay, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right. So Absolute Flash 7. Deanna, you had a pick of the week.
Yes, mine was. Wait, I got my notebook here. That's why I was looking down. Buried long ago, issue 5.
Who's
the
publisher?
Conclusion. Mad Cave.
Mad Cave. All right.
Yeah, this is the conclusion of the story, and it's a retelling of true events between 1901 to 1908, where a woman lured men onto her farm and killed them for their money.
Oh, okay.
But it's very fairy tale-esque and horror-ish through the eyes of her children. So it's very interesting, and the art is so beautiful.
Is that the premise, like, or is that a spoiler? Like, what's the premise of the book? It's just she lures...
That's the premise.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
not spoiling anything.
Like, okay.
No.
Would you recommend this book? I know it's like your personal pick of the week, but would you recommend this book for others to pick up?
If you're into horror, if you're into heartfelt stories, and a bit into the fantastical, yes. If not, no.
Okay. Buried long ago by Mad Cave Studios. Shout out to Mad Cave Studios. Yes, we do focus on a lot of Marvel and DC, but special shout outs to the third party comic publishers out there, the indie comics out there. Okay, very nice. I didn't read that one. Ethan, did you read that? You didn't read that one, right?
I did not. I'm not the biggest fan of horror. I did read, what was it, the Nice House on the Lake?
Yeah.
But that was mainly because it was James Tynion.
Yeah.
Horror doesn't grab me most of the time, mainly because I don't find almost anything scary. Like, nothing scares me, and I don't resonate with it as much. But I will try certain stories if they are like told very well with like, human perspective of like emotions and kind of going deeper than just like scares. So, but this does sound interesting based off of the perspective.
I love Comic Talk for the sake of like you guys and whoever else I have giving recommendations of things I haven't read, and then I have to think to myself, would I like to read it? There was that zombie book that Drew recommended from Image Comics, and it was called what was it called? I forget what it was called. But I read it after the show, and it was interesting. I was like, okay. So
wait, he does actually have good taste.
I was like, Drew, good taste. What was it called? I forget what it was called. Maybe BP, because BP's in the chat a lot. Remembers the name of that one, but that one was good. So if it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't know where to start. That's the thing about indie comics, is like I don't know what to pick up because it's not necessarily an IP that I know. So, which I will talk about a comic that I read that is an IP I know, but from an indie publisher. But, I mean, it's hard for me to pick a pick of the week, me personally, but just for the sake of time and effort and like energy, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I'm just gonna say Deadpool Batman because we need to just talk about it. Because I was telling Deanna before this show is that it's not just a comic. And I'm not hyping it up like in a dumb way, but like the idea that Marvel and DC can do a crossover, they don't do crossovers that often. I had to look it up. The last time I knew this, the last crossover they did was JLA Avengers. And that was back, I had to look up the date because I was like, wasn't it 5 years ago? No, it was 2003.
Mm-hmm.
20, oh shit, 22 years ago.
Yeah, I was 1 year older.
That is crazy. Don't ever say that again. That what? You were 1 year old in 2003. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, I was born in 2002.
Nobody was born in 2002. Nobody was born after the year 2000. Okay. Y2K came, and that was that. BP said everything dead and dying. That was it. Everything dead and dying. Interesting new take on zombies. But anyway, regardless, Deanna. Okay, well, now I'm just gonna turn off the show and get into my coffin right now.
I also feel very old, though. I'm 23. I feel old. My back hurts.
Your back is never gonna stop hurting. Just so you know.
Started at 20 and it just keeps going.
Yeah, you know. So what was I saying? So the last Marvel DC crossover event was JLA Avengers back in 2003. Before that, they had Marvel versus DC with the Amalgam comics also back in like the early 90s. So that's probably like 94. So there wasn't much of a gap between that and that. And before that, they had like one-off kind of little comics here and there. And so this is technically the longest time we've had without a Marvel DC crossover, and we got it in this book. Now, this book has both Marvel and DC on the cover, but technically it's Marvel. It has to, like, it's Deadpool Batman is Marvel, but Batman Deadpool, which comes out November 19th, is DC. So, which means the ads on the inside are Marvel ads, but then later it'll be DC ads on the inside. So, this is kind of part of comic book history. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whatever, but like we gotta talk about it. So, there were five stories on the inside. The main one is Deadpool Batman. I mean, we could talk about that. We all read that one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you guys like it?
I did enjoy it. I mean, it gave you exactly what you wanted. You know, Deadpool acts like Deadpool, Batman acts like Batman. I like the Joker of it all, and like bringing him in Batman, kind of like using that old reverse psychology trick that he's known for doing. It felt very like Batman the animated series, which I enjoyed, which is necessary for a like Deadpool crossover to happen. But yeah, I thought it was a very solid story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Deanna, what do you think?
I would say it's a bad Batman story, but a good Deadpool story, if that makes sense.
It's a bad Batman story, but it's a good Deadpool story?
Yes.
Okay.
So it works with Deadpool, but for my taste, it doesn't work with Batman.
Yeah. I get that. This whole book was a bunch of stories, right? Deadpool Batman was the main one, and then it has some backups. But the Deadpool Batman one, art by Greg Capullo, who did did he do the Tom King run of Batman?
Scott Snyder.
He did the Scott Snyder run of Batman.
Yeah.
So he was the artist on that. And Zeb Wells is the writer on this one. And when has Zeb Wells, has he ever written Batman? I don't remember.
I don't believe so. In mine, I've never read a Batman story by him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say no.
Couldn't name one at the top of my head.
Yeah. Has he written Deadpool? I'm even
I
trying to find that, and I can't.
I feel like he might have in like another story, maybe like if he's writing, Spider-Man or some such, and then like Deadpool comes in. I would assume so, but
Oh,
don't quote me.
he co-wrote the movie Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
It definitely had that Ryan Reynolds voice.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Yeah. I would say that this was not my favorite story in this, but I think it was good enough that like a kid reading it, it's going to accomplish what it wants. And I think what it wants
Mm.
is for a reader of Marvel or a reader of DC to fall in love with the opposite character and get some cross pollination, because it's not a zero sum game. You can like Marvel and DC, and you can read them both and love them both. So the idea is like, with this story, hopefully it's going to increase sales for both companies, right?
Mm.
Yeah, which is good for comics as a whole, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. So with this, like, yeah, I liked it. It's not the best Batman, but I will say I did like the Joker because he was both murderous but also cartoony. And I like murderous,
Mhm.
cartoony Joker
Mm.
the
Me too.
best. Not like the really grounded Joker or the quote unquote like super sane Joker that like sometimes happens, where he like just is always out thinking everyone in his insane, super sane sort of way.
Mhm.
So it was what it was. What I was really paying attention to is how are they crossing over? And I did this with all the different stories. I was like, how are they crossing over? In this, it just said that Joker found his like spiritual twin from another world, which is Marvel, and brought him into this universe through magic from Clarion the Witch Boy. So that's what I care about, and that's me being like a continuity whore because I'm such a big continuity guy. Like, I need the reasoning, and so it's a little
Mhm.
tough. Some of these books are a little tough for me because I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm the same way as well with like continuity, but in situations like this, I try to suspend my disbelief a bit more and like accept it for what it is. Like, Batman isn't gonna operate the exact same way as I like know him to be, but it's gonna be a near enough kind of like representation, and I can enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. Um, that is the main story. There are a couple backups, and I'll just read out what the backups were. Because this is an oversized issue. It's what, $7. I bought two of them so I can get the crypto Jeff the Land Shark cover. So I got two of them. So I was like, I'll read one and I'll keep that one. But the backups were Captain America and Wonder Woman, Jeff and Crypto, Daredevil and Green Arrow. That one's written by Kevin Smith. Rocket Raccoon and Green Lantern, Old Man Logan and Batman, and then Logo. I mean, we can go. I mean, we can kind of go quickly through all this. What do you guys think about Captain America and Wonder Woman? Did you guys read this one?
So I did.
Okay.
I wasn't really feeling the World War II part of it, mainly because of the Hitler of it all. I'm just kind of like, shoot him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, or like my concept was like, well, the whole idea is that Wonder Woman goes into a bunker and sees that Captain America has a gun pointed to Hitler, and she basically like talks him down, saying that he has surrendered and like don't go that far. And like, in principle, I get it that they're heroes at the same time, like he's Hitler. I like I kind of wish it was like Red Skull or somebody, but I felt like my solution would have been to Wonder Woman put the lasso around Hitler and make him face all of the sins, all of the pain that he caused other people, to look into his cold heart and to feel that pain. Like that would have been very satisfying for me. So that part I wasn't really feeling, but I will say that like the stuff outside of it, where it shows like this alternate timeline with Wonder Woman and Captain America, that was pretty dope because you kind of get to see, it's almost like she had a true partner, because they are very similar in so many different ways of like how they are like noble and they're heroes that inspire hope, and they carry a great deal of weight on their shoulders. And perhaps this is me like reading too much into it, but you know, with the Trinity, who I love, but it's also very much a boys' club. Like you have Batman and Superman, they're always hanging out together. They have a comic book together, and Wonder Woman gets left on the wayside. Versus like how I took it was that with Captain America here, she actually has someone who she's a partner with,
Yeah.
and it's like they kind of keep each other from going over that edge. For example, in this timeline, she doesn't snap Maxwell Lord's neck, and because like Captain's like behind her, like reminding her to like be good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this interesting twist where they're like multiversal soulmates, and I like that concept. And I would have liked to have seen that explored more. Like I wanted to see that, like the stuff outside of World War II, more than like what we got.
Yeah. This, so with all the different Marvel and DC crossovers, sometimes they do come from different universes, but what people sometimes forget is that there is at least a couple of universes out there where Marvel and DC have always coexisted. So there's a lot of like 70s comics. There's the Batman Hulk comic from the 70s. There's a Superman Spider-Man comic from the 70s where they, like, the Daily Bugle and the Daily Planet are always like they're there in the same universe. Like they coexist. So this seems to be a universe where they coexist. So once I saw that, I was like, I can deal with that. But like, yeah, Steve Rogers is kind of like Steve Trevor. Like that kind of is the point, right?
I mean, it's like, because yeah, I mean, Steve Trevor is a soldier as well.
Yeah.
But it almost feels like he's, I don't mean this in like a negative way, and I haven't fully like unpacked it, but like he's not really Wonder Woman's equal in the sense of power.
Exactly.
You know, like versus like Cap, and I'm not even saying this in like a romantic context, but like why they are kind of so powerful together, because I love Steve Trevor. But with Steve Rogers, she does have someone who's more of I don't think he's a complete equal because he's not a god, but he is like a super soldier, and he carries so much weight and responsibility. People look up to him in the same way. And so they are technically the same archetype, but also Captain America is just more on equal footing with Wonder Woman.
Yeah. My biggest concern about this issue is that the art seems rushed. Sorry, Terry Dodson. I feel like Terry Dodson must have put a lot of work into the bunker scenes, but the flashback scenes, a lot of them are like low resolution. It is what it is.
Maybe that's like to like throw it back, like it's in the past. Maybe
well, it's actually the opposite. It's opposite. The most
in the future.
definition is the past, but the future / current stuff was like low rendered. But it is what it is.
Well, okay.
I mean, really quick then, I thought the Jeff, the Land Shark and Crypto story was cute. It was just them like hitting a ball back and forth across a lot, like, you know, across huge amount of space, and then they became like volleyball friends. And like,
yeah, that was cute.
You know. Deanna, you didn't read that one, right? Like,
no.
That's fair. The Daredevil Green Arrow one is kind of cool. I liked it because like thematically they're very similar. I like that one. Did you have any quick thoughts, Ethan, about that one?
Quick thought, yeah. I like Kevin Smith's writing. This one felt like it was too like hammy a bit. Like they kind of were like taking shots back and forth, and it was just too like punny. Like they had a lot of puns, and it took me out of the story. Other than that, like I like everything else.
Yeah. Then there was Rocket Raccoon and Green Lantern, which was just a 2-page story. No, 4-page, 3-page story, 2-page story. I'm looking at it. There wasn't enough to do in this at all. Like, what was the point? I
didn't get much from it. It was what it was.
Yeah. The premise is that Rocket goes to the Green Lantern Corps, Hal goes to the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's like it. and the absolute worst waste of time. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be blunt and to the point. Mostly because I know that Frank Miller does not watch or listen to this podcast, so I feel like I'm safe with this.
Next week you're gonna get a mail.
The Frank Miller written Old Man Logan versus Dark Knight Returns was the absolute waste of 2 pages. The art was horrible. It's not even 2 pages, 3 pages. Art was horrible. The writing was horrible. What was the point? A lot of it's in silhouette. I don't know what is going on in this. Did you hate it, Ethan, or did you? I'll say I hated it. Like,
I feel like I felt nothing. Like it wasn't enough even in there for me to like hate. So it's like I couldn't stir up. It was just like I read it and then it like slipped away. Like I don't even have like strong opinion because it didn't really do, and it's like it didn't do anything. Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't feel strongly about it enough to hate it.
Last but not least, what I did like was the logo comic. And the reason I like it is because it seems to me they got plans for the Amalgam universe again, like a redoing of the Amalgam universe. Because in the original Amalgam universe, Lobo and Howard the Duck were fused to be Lobo the Duck. In this universe, Lobo and Wolverine are fused to be Logo, which I thought was a satire on the idea that he's a complete like corporate sort of like his name is Logo and he has a logo for his name, and Logo is Logan and Lobo, and he's just supposed to be like the poster boy of Amalgam in a way.
That actually makes sense. I didn't think of it that way because I didn't think too hard about it.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, okay, yeah, they mixed Lobo and Logan. But that does make sense.
I think it's satirical. Okay. And I would hope, and this is what I'm most excited for, I hope there's a satirical Amalgam comic coming out.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd check that out.
Yeah. Anyway, that I thought was the most fun. Anyway, for anyone out there, let us know what you thought about the Deadpool/Batman. November 19th, DC will release Batman/Deadpool with other backup stories. So we'll definitely be here to talk about that. And for the sake of time and everything, we'll move on to the rest of the stuff that we read this week because there's a lot of good stuff. What are you guys dying to get off your chest? Let's talk about it as we pick up the pace.
I'd say Nightwing number 130.
I didn't get to read it.
Okay.
But we could talk about it. I didn't get to
okay.
read it,
yeah. I'm not sure you're gonna like it. But I get what it's doing. And we think hard about this stuff, but it's like how far are you in the Nightwing run?
I'm all caught up except for this one.
Okay. Like I really actually like where it's going with Nightwing Prime and everything. And this continues that story because it feels like Nightwing is occupying a different space than what he's operated before. It almost takes him to like a Batman psychological like Zur and R situation where he's able to fit into different like genres. And I wasn't understanding where it was going in the beginning, but I've appreciated where the run has ended up just because it feels fresh and still very focused on Nightwing and his development and going into this new arena of where like now there's this like Nightwing Prime, who's this street kid that was granted 5th dimensional powers of the Kryptonian Nightwing. And it just takes it into a space where it's like, I've never seen Nightwing in this kind of story. And like, as long as you can like pull that off, I'm really into it. And I feel like that's what the story is doing. So I appreciate the bold take in the thought process that's put behind it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Deanna,
but
are you
I don't think it's going to be for everybody.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't like Nightwing Prime from the previous arc or whatever. But that's just
I assumed.
It is what it is. BP wants to know, is this Nightwing run a good place to start if I know nothing about him? After seeing the pumpkin cover, I'm interested. So the pumpkin cover is a variant cover, so you may or may not be able to pick that one up. But if that interests you, I don't know if the interior is going to evoke that same emotion from the pumpkin spicy variant cover that DC has. I think there's better jumping on points for Nightwing.
Yeah.
Tom Taylor's run
Yeah.
would be a good start for the current run.
Because this almost feels like a deconstruction, and I feel like it's good to have context of where Nightwing started, because this is doing daring things with the Zani and other elements of his history, where it's kind of unpacking things, versus Tom Taylor's is a bit more straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I'm trying to find the exact issue number. But it's like Nightwing 78, I think it's 78. Yeah, Nightwing 78, I think, is the beginning of the new run. Or quote unquote new run. Yeah. 78 is Tom Taylor's start. So I would recommend that. Deanna, I know that you didn't read this one, but you are caught up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think my only, not really problem, my preference is when street tier heroes are street tier heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And this one goes in an other direction that I'm used to. It's not bad. It's just not really what I prefer.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Deanna, what else did you read that you got to get off your chest?
What I really liked this week was Magic. This is also the conclusion to her comic, sadly.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing is, like, all the X-Men comics had their final issue either this week or whatever, quote unquote final, because they're doing a huge crossover event called Age of Revelation, where all the titles get renamed and then they reissue issue number ones. So we don't know after the crossover who comes back and who doesn't. But all these series that, like, all these X-Men series that came out this week or last have ended, quote unquote. So, but yeah, tell me about Magic. I didn't know you were a Magic fan.
Neither did I. I just got into it and I couldn't stop reading. Yeah, it's a great start if you're looking for Magic. I think this is her first series after her mini series. Yeah, it's pretty good. She in the first few issues she had kind of problem with her dark child.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where she fights this Society of Eternal Dawn, and Cal is one of her friends that has liminal in her body, so it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You should read it.
Okay. I mean, I read most of the X-Men comics, but Magic, to me, like, I like the character when she's on the X-Men. I don't know if I'm interested in Magic outside the X-Men on a solo series, but I'll probably pick this up in trade.
Yeah, it's a quick read.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm like a couple issues behind on Magic.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, it's very good.
Do you guys read Amazing Spider-Man 12?
Yes.
No.
I just got caught up, and I am liking it. So
thank you. I'm liking it a lot too.
It took a while. Like, I fell behind for a couple of months, and then I had to I reread everything, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what I was missing out on after the whole Hellgate stuff. And so now, there's another Spider-Man, because Peter Parker is off-world, but there's another Spider-Man that you get revealed at the end of last issue. And so the Spider family essentially confronts this Spider-Man. There were some really good moments in this book, in this issue specifically.
Yeah, I definitely.
This series, sorry for a quick question, is this series Underworld Under Doom or not?
It doesn't really deal with One World Under Doom, but, like, it technically is taking place at the same time.
Okay.
But it doesn't deal with it.
Yeah, because this is coming to an end soon too. So yeah, I'm a bit confused what's part of it, what's not.
Wait, Amazing Spider-Man's coming to an end?
No. World Under Doom, the event.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. What were you saying, Ethan, though?
Yeah, I'm liking where it's going. Once again, similar to almost like Nightwing, where it's like taking it in a different direction and seeing a new Spider-Man operating and like him having an appreciation of Peter Parker. I love like how his perspective has shifted now that he is in the costume, then he gets, pulled up on by Miles and Spider-Boy
Yeah.
and Silk. And it just, once again, like feels fresh. It's a nice balance between humor and also like a good plot, but also, especially more towards the beginning of the series, it delved into Peter Parker's past in an area that I feel like wasn't often explored. So you get just like a lot of foundational support to understanding the story and Peter. And I'm genuinely like excited each issue to see what's going to happen, which is always a good sign.
Yeah. I do like the fresh new kind of takes that it doesn't change too much, but it's enough that like, oh, you're like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Like, again, spoiler, fast forward like 30 seconds if you don't want the spoiler, but like Norman Osborn is Spider-Man and he like knee-jerk reaction starts beating up Spider-Gwen, not knowing it's Gwen, and then recognizes her voice and then just breaks down being like, I can't keep fighting and doing this and being the same asshole that I've been. Which I thought was like kind of a cool moment there.
Yeah. I like that for his character. It felt like moving forward instead of being stuck in the same cycle.
Yeah, definitely.
Art
right.
is very good too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, easy hop, skip, and a jump is Miles Morales, Spider-Man 38, which I really liked this issue.
Me too. It is picking up for me after the Tournament of the Gods. Nothing against it. I think we talked about this before. It's a good story. I especially liked Anansi. I just don't think that like I like tournament style fighting outside of anime. It's fine for like a one issue or like a one episode story, but like a prolonging thing, like for some reason it doesn't hit. But now that we're kind of like out of it and Miles is getting back to his roots and getting to explore like the other characters and like new people coming in, I'm like locked in again.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to not like DCKO.
Well, actually, okay. So not to go off track, but real quick, like I did read that preview because I was still like that. But Scott Snyder is a chef, okay, and he knows how to. Because like as I've told you before, it's like I took a while to get into the Ultimate Universe because I don't really like alternate universes. I like main universes. But he sold me on Absolute Universe with that crossover with the All-In special, and that's what he's doing with DCKO, like how he's setting it up and like he's thinking about it in a different way of like having Superman have like the knuckle bracers with like mini suns. It's like it's still very story driven. So it takes a very skilled writer to pull off tropes that I don't enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, it's very pro wrestling / video game fighting game, right? But I have faith that they're weaving a story in.
Yes.
Kind of like what I've talked about previously is the Batman Fortnite miniseries that I thought like could have been just ass, but it was, the good type of ass. And so like, good for them. They made a story work. And so DCKO, I have faith that they're going to pull it off, but we shall see.
Yeah.
But Miles Morales Spider-Man, they've introduced us to 2 new characters. And like, then we get Miles he's the intern of Misty Knight, and then we see Black Cat team up with them, and it was very like what's the Mean Girls quote? Get in, loser, we're going shopping. Is that what it was? Yeah. It's very much like that when she rolls up in the car.
Yeah. Love the Misty Knight appearance, and also like how much love Black Cat has been getting lately. Like she has her own comic. She's been in Amazing Spider-Man. Now she's like with Miles, and I want to see their interaction. So I'm glad that she's getting so much attention.
Yeah. I also like that they're not doing anything weird with Miles and Felicia.
Oh yeah, no.
Let's not do
that. Yeah, that would be weird.
He is a child.
That should be more like Catwoman and the Robins. Like that's off limits.
Yeah, I definitely think Catwoman and the Robins are off limits. Like, stop it.
Yeah,
That is Bruce's kids.
That's against the law.
Yes.
Yeah, but Nightwing and Catwoman once hooked up.
And I think Jason Todd had something. I like blocked it out because Jason Todd has been
Jason Todd and Talia.
Yeah, with Talia. I'm like, that feels wrong too.
That feels very wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, it is. It is wrong.
Also, when they sometime, I forget where, hint at Dinah, Black Canary, and Roy Harper.
No.
You cut it out. You cut it out.
Yeah.
Right now. But anyway, this book is really I like the return, sort of. You're right. Away from the God stuff. Back to like, okay. And then introducing new characters that have really cool designs that okay.
Yeah, and also that they pose an interesting threat because it's like one can see Miles when he's invisible, and I like how like he's gonna have to navigate against that. And then also with Black Cat and was it the White Cat, but like how the White Cat
the luck
like puts like bad luck onto the other person. It's like a twist on it, but still that's like copyright infringement, so Black Cat needs to collect.
Yeah. Yeah. Deanna, what's another book that you really want to talk about?
I really want to talk about one that was really fun. That is really fun. The new Avengers.
I had to catch up to read this one, but yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so this one focuses on Namor because in the previous issue, how could I put it? So they're fighting copies of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
And Imperious Rex is kind of in his head.
Yeah.
And making him fight the new Avengers. And it's really fun to see because I really liked all the characters that are in it. So it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. The only weird part about this series, I think it was last issue, is the weird face that Laura Kinney does when she smiles about fighting. And it doesn't look like her. Like, looks like she's possessed. And I'm like, is this on purpose? Is it not? Is it a clue? Is it just bad writing?
Who knows?
If it's not, then it is kind of bad characterization on Laura's part. She isn't... X-23 isn't Wolverine. Like, she is Wolverine, but she's not Logan. Like, Logan and her have two different personalities.
Yeah.
So
yeah, her series has also come to an end the last week, which is also really sad because I enjoyed it also a lot.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do with Age of Revelation because sometimes crossover events can be a waste of time, and sometimes they like rejuvenate your energy for titles.
But I feel like they have been on such a good run with these titles. It feels such a shame to end this now for this event, but maybe it will become better. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm worried because I've been reading the X books and I'm not feeling this crossover. Like I'll give it a try, I guess, but I don't know. It just feels like crossover for crossover's sake.
I mean, yeah. The raid on Graymolkin, that was a crossover for crossover's sake.
Definitely. But it's like at least like you still had the main like story. Like I could go back to Uncanny X-Men and it like picked up like usual. Versus this feels like a bigger kind of shift.
I think what would rejuvenate when they come back, what would rejuvenate the titles is if we got teams to switch characters and stuff. Like have characters go to different teams. You know?
Yeah. I like because like Uncanny X-Men is my favorite title. And I'm liking what they're like this issue that just came out.
We might as well talk about that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like I was looking forward to Ransom's story. And we finally got it in these past 2 issues of like learning what he's about, like where he came from. And it's a really good story about his abandonment issues. He was kidnapped as a child, but his father refused to pay. He has a black hole where his heart's supposed to be. Is very tragic, but he also finds family in the X-Men and specifically Logan. I just really like the personal stories, and it still feels like it's new, even though it's like, been a bit of a time since the books have like restarted.
Yeah.
But we're still getting to know these characters, and I feel like this is disrupting that. And I'm a very character-driven person where I want to learn about who they are before things explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Um, Uncanny X-Men, I mean, the art is amazing and it keeps me interested. And like, there was like interesting kind of new concepts in this one. But I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I don't know whether I have thoughts about it. It was just kind of. I'm not sure. I gotta let it simmer. You
Okay.
know. All right. So for the sake of time, we're gonna run through everything real quick. Marvel Zombies Red Band, issue number 1. I read it. Deanna, did you read it?
Nope.
Ethan, did you read it?
No.
Okay. It is definitely Red Band. It is gory. It's kind of a new start to a Marvel Zombies universe, which you don't have to read it, but at the same time, like, it's pretty compelling. It's like it takes place during the early days of the Marvel universe, so like basically it kicks off with the Fantastic Four went to outer space and they're coming back. So they come back with powers, but they also come back as zombies. So they land as zombies and start biting people and whatnot. And it does show that the zombies have personalities. So that's the thing that separates Marvel zombies from regular zombies is like the zombies are still cognizant, for better or for worse, right? And so it's interesting. I don't know. I'll keep with it. Justice League Red number 2. I just barely finished reading this one. Ethan, quick thoughts?
Quick thoughts. I really liked it. I like Cyborg in this. I like how he was written. People often forget about Cyborg. That's a longer story, so I won't go into it. But also like Red Tornado not being trustworthy and like where they're going with him because he could be stagnant. Overall, I feel like I like this even better than the first issue.
I wasn't sold on the first issue. This issue got me interested because they're seeing something as shady with Red Tornado, and I'm cool with that. Also, the art by Clayton Henry is immaculate.
So good.
The art is, and especially as Cyborg in that first like page or two that he appears. I think it's a full panel shot of him looking cool, and I'm like, it's such a good shot. And so
Yes.
but they haven't gotten the full team together even in this book. So there's still Red Canary and Dead Man that have yet to appear. So we'll see.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Deanna, you didn't read this one, right?
No, only the first issue. Yeah, I wasn't really sold on the first one, but now that I'm hearing this, I'm gonna continue.
It picks up. It definitely picks up because it's premise based, right? Like, but then it's also kind of a mystery, so it's hard to convey that, I think, in a first issue. So, Batman Robin Year 1, issue 11. I read it. I know Deanna read it.
Yes.
Ethan, did you read this one?
I did not.
Okay. So, quick thoughts, Deanna?
It was good, emotional, and I think the
Yeah.
next issue is gonna wrap it all up. So I wonder how they do it.
Yeah, I'm glad it had room to breathe. 12 issues is a good amount, and it's Mark Waid, it's Chris Somney. The art is amazing, the writing's amazing, and takes place in the past. Yeah, no notes. I think it's gonna be a modern day classic. Get it in a 12 issue hardcover. Oof. Ooh, I will buy it first day. If they come out with a 12 issue hardcover, I'm buying it first day. I'm putting it on my shelf. Like, I need this one.
Yeah, I want to read this in its entirety.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I read Crypto because I just want to talk about something that hurt me. I read Crypto, and then I told you guys, and then I think Deanna read it. This series has been really good. I think it's Ryan North who writes Fantastic Four for Marvel. And it's Crypto's like first days on Earth So he doesn't start off with powers, and now he's like starting to do that. There was a Deanna, did you notice there was a trigger warning in the beginning of the
Yeah,
book?
that it's gonna be sad, that you
It-
should have a person nearby to
yeah.
hug.
Yeah, and I didn't know whether that was kind of like sure, it's going to be sad, but you don't know why it's going to be sad. So when Crypto meets another dog friend, I thought it was a red herring. I thought maybe the sadness is somebody else, something happened to somebody else, and you think it's going to happen to the dog. No, it happens to the dog.
Mm.
And did you have any thoughts?
Besides tears, no.
It was so sad. It was so sad. And the question is if the book deserves or like needed that. And I think the point of it is to give Crypto his first tragedy, but also treat him like a dog. Like he is a dog in this book. Like
Yeah, it's a kick the dog moment.
Yeah, but like it's very dog like. He doesn't deal with it like a human does, but he also has kind of those emotions too. So anyway, I don't want to talk about it too much. It is sad. Ethan, if you want to cry, you can. You could read it.
Okay, once I'll like read all the issues, I'm sure it'll hit me.
Yeah. We got to go through like one sentence reviews. We're gonna run right through. New Gods number 10. Quick thoughts.
Very strong issue once again. I like Seraphin and how he's inverted and fascinated with Earth instead of like us being fascinated in space. That was cool. Mr. Terrific also had a spotlight, and that was also very interesting to see.
Okay, nice. By the way, if I forget which one of us have read it and I skip over you, feel free to chime in. Fantastic Four issue number 3. It's just nice to see the Fantastic Four like kick Doom's ass. Like good. Good. And it was done in a cool way.
Good for them.
I like it, you know?
Yeah, same.
Batman Superman World's Finest 43. We deal with the end of this Bizarro World crossover, and I thought, like, I don't really like it, but like I thought it ended well.
Yeah, Mark Waid is really good at making these emotional connections between characters you wouldn't care about. Great writer.
Yeah, and he brings up Flowers for Algernon, which is a book that was written a long time ago, but basically a man with lower IQ takes a serum that takes him to genius level, but then it slowly wears off over time. And the book is called Flowers for Algernon. There was a movie called Charlie. And so they bring that up with the Bizarros getting super intellect and then losing it. And in that final scene where Bizarro Batman and Bizarro Superman, like, they're like, I know why I have to take the serum to turn back. Why do you? And he's like, well, I'm not going to leave my best friend. And like, that's the Bizarros talking to each other. And then they take it, and then they're dumb Bizarros again. And it's like, okay. Oof. It kind of, tugged on the heartstrings a little. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, issue number 2. Did you guys read it?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun if you realize that your favorite heroes are going to act dumb. Like,
yeah.
For the sake of the book, an actual Marvel 616 team, like, Predators are going to get defeated real quick. Like, don't put the Predators up against the X-Men and expect the X-Men to die. But again, in this book, Ethan, you're not going to like this one, but Cyclops gets taken out first because he's dumb. And it's like, what? Why would he? He like turns his back to the Predator and he's like, what is this, a hologram? And then he gets his head blown off. Like, come on. Cyclops wouldn't do that.
Did he take what the Bizarros took? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
It's that kind of book though, right? Where it's like the writer needs to choose 5 characters that are gonna live and the rest have to die, and they all have to die in like whatever dumb ways,
Quick succession. Yeah, but it's kind of the thing with these kills the universe titles. They're
Even
just
in
gonna
Marvel
be
Zombies.
stupid.
Yeah. even in Marvel Zombies, Thor throws his hammer, in the Invisible Woman zombie grabs his hammer with a orb of invisible stuff, and then he turns back to Donald Blake. Then she traps him in a thing and squeezes him into juice, essentially.
Thor juice.
Yeah, just blood and guts, and then feeds the zombies with the juice, essentially.
Ooh.
Predator. I mean, it's an interesting week for Marvel because they have Predator kills the Marvel Universe, Marvel Zombies, and Deadpool Batman. These are all like big specials, Star Wars #5, you didn't read, right, Deanna?
No, I only read Star Wars Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red.
Okay, tell me about
It's
that.
it's a nice concept. It's only a one shot, so I can't say much without spoiling it. So lots of action, but not really character driven.
Okay. Runaways #4.
Yeah, it's okay.
Do you like
I
the
don't.
Runaways? Are you familiar with them?
I'm familiar with them, but I don't care enough about them, to be honest.
I'm the opposite. I am. I mean, I'm also familiar with them, but from the beginning when the first series came out. So I've been reading it since then, and so any Runaways is good Runaways to me, and like
You have an emotional connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they went through so much together, yet they're always on each other's asses.
Yeah. Because they're like family, That's the whole point. It's just
Yeah, sure, but I don't know.
Yeah. You read Batman the Second Night, right? I read the first
Yes.
night. I didn't read this one.
For me, it's the opposite. I didn't read the first night, but I read this one. But it's a very interesting concept. It's playing in the 1940s, and there's a killer on the loose. Very intriguing. Did you catch the Flying Grayson poster?
I didn't read this one.
Oh, sorry. But there's a Flying Grayson's poster,
Is
so
there?
maybe there will be a Robin in the story because he's working all alone, even without a butler in this one.
Okay. Wait, does Alfred die in the other one?
No, he just doesn't exist, I think. Well, I don't know from the
I don't
first
remember
one,
if
but
Alfred was in the first one. Okay, fair. All right, so Good is Dead. Did you read that one?
no.
Okay. Buried long ago, you talked about Cemetery Kids Run Rabid, issue 2.
Yes. It's a continuation from the first one. These kids are playing this game that you can play in your sleep. And my problem is I don't know what this story is trying to tell. Maybe it's because I also didn't read the first one, the prequel, Cemetery Kids Don't Die, but it's just missing something for me. The art is amazing, the colors too, but it's just not giving.
Okay. What's the... Oh, it's Oni. Okay, it's Oni Press. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. I think that's it for you guys, but I can run through the rest of the stuff. Did I skip any for you guys? Oh,
Flow. Yeah, Flow.
Okay. So
it's also by
trigger warning for the covers, just because, but like it is what. Then again, we got Marvel Zombies. It's different. It is what it is. Oh, no, I didn't prep the image. Never mind. Trigger warning for an image that I don't have. Sorry. Tell us about Flow. Yeah, tell us about Flow.
Yeah. So it's also from Mad Cave. I realized I really like Mad Cave titles. And it's split in 2 timelines, the current world where 3 adults are trying to navigate their life while being haunted of the past. And in the past, they went to this nature camp, and there they kind of bullied this one girl who was very sheltered, and now she's kind of coming back to haunt them. Very Carrie-esque. So intriguing, interesting. Let's see where it goes.
Also, flow is a play on words for menstruation.
Yes.
Okay, just for anyone out there. Okay, so after that, then I'll hit the ones that I need to hit, and then we'll wrap things up. Ultimates #16. It was a good issue, and it doesn't focus on... It's very topical, I'll tell you that. It's very topical. And maybe in a couple months, we won't even be able to talk about how topical it is. But Ultimates 16, it doesn't focus on the heroes. It focuses on the regular world people that are... They're like, oh, you are an Ultimate now. So, like, there's like a groundswell movement against the fascism of that world. And people that you know and love die. Or not that we know, because they're all introduced in this issue, but like the character and the people that the character knows and loves, they die. There's an underground movement against the Maker and this world that the Maker runs. And so yeah, this issue was really good. Like, this issue doesn't even have to be Ultimate Marvel. It could just be its own, like, it could be an indie comic about a government that's like that, and it still works.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah. Again, with this, yeah, with everything going on, I think worth reading this one.
Does Denise Camp write that as well?
Yeah, I mean, Denise Camp has been writing the Ultimates. I don't know if Denise wrote this issue, but yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to,
because after Martian Manhunter, I'll check out anything.
Oh, then yeah. I mean, the Ultimates is generally Denise Camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This issue.
Cool.
What was it? Ultimate Black Panther issue number 20. It's just cool if you like kind of Black Panther this is kind of like a more supernatural origin story of Vibranium in this issue of the ultimate Vibranium essentially, and so it is what it is. I thought it was fine. What I did like was Battle Beast number 5. If you like Battle Beast, it's from the Invincible universe from Image Comics. A lot of like fun cartoony gore in this, just like Invincible is. And you see some kind of new mythology on this alien planet. I thought that was cool. Captain Planet and the Planeteers issue number 5 was really good. This is David Pepose, who writes the Speed Racer comic, and this is from Dynamite. And it's a modern retelling of Captain Planet with modern cynicism, which the original cartoon doesn't have. The original cartoon is like, if you do your part, we can beat the bad guys together. And in this, it was like, oh no, the bad guys are super powerful in this day and age, in 2025. What can we really do, even with this power? So there's a cynicism in it that still is, one of the characters is like, if we don't have hope, what do we have? Like, in this, we might as well just give up, So I thought
it's absolute Captain Planet.
It's essentially like if they did a Captain Planet movie, how would they do it for a modern audience, right? And David Pepose, shout out to David. I think I chatted with him a little bit. I would love to have him on the show. Maybe we'll figure out some time. But yeah.
Very cool.
And then, last but not least, there was an old, very short-lived cartoon called Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. And it was one of those cartoons with anthropomorphic animals that was back in the early 90s. And Oni Press has the Nacelverse, which they're bringing a lot of those old concepts back into like comic book form. So these are humanoid cows that are cowboys because they're cowboys, but it's done tongue in cheek. Like their guns shoot sheriff stars, and like it's very kind of cartoony. But it's Wild West, but also they say a lot of animal puns in it. Like it's like it'd be like DuckTales, in a way. Well, actually more punny than that, right? DuckTales doesn't focus on them being ducks, but Cowboys Moo Mesa focuses on that. It's cool if you like that sort of thing. It is very cartoony, very punny, kind of tongue in cheek, but the character designs are really cool. And it's based off an old cartoon. So that's that. That's that's Oni Press. So all in all, a pretty good comic week for all of us.
Yeah, very good, I think.
Yeah. I want to thank you both so much for coming on the show, taking time out of your night. Shout out to BP, who was in our chat. Shout out to Pedro, who's in our chat. Shout out to anyone who's out there watching, liking, subscribing, following, doing your thing. If you're watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. We are all over the place. So take your pick, however you want to digest us. Just digest us and let us know you're out there. Before we get going, Deanna, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
I'm on Instagram, Deanna Kinney, and also Deanna.Kinney, and TikTok, Deanna Kinney, and also a bit on YouTube. And I want to plug Taking long walks.
Take long
Taking long walks. Yeah, alone.
All right. Ethan, what about you?
I'm a Virgo Blade. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky. I have some story stuff I'm working on that I'm going to be putting out. I'm just going to tease for now, but there are plans to put some of my own stories out. That's happening.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Very,
Ooh.
very interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm intrigued.
Yep.
If anyone wants to follow me personally, because I got some cool things coming up. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at This Is Dimitri. But for the most part, follow us at The Keeg Show. Comic Talk is just one of the shows that we do on The Keeg Show. It's our most consistent show, sure, but we also talk about movies and TV and all that stuff on our different podcasts. You can follow The Keeg at The Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Those are our two biggest platforms, social media-wise. But we're also on like Blue Sky and Threads and all that. At The Keeg Show / The Keeg Show, wherever you can find The Keeg. We're going to do a push on Patreon soon enough. So if you want to, hop on Patreon, patreon.com / The Keeg Show. I got to find some incentives to throw out there. If you want to find a comic shop near you to pick up any of the comics that we talked about, or past or future, go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you. Definitely support your local comic shops. They deserve our support as long as you vibe with them, you connect with them, and they're not, weird or anything. Like, support your local comic shops. And then also support your local public libraries, because libraries also need our support, and they also have books, they also have comic books, and even if they didn't, they still got stuff that you need and the community needs. So support your local public libraries as well. Other than that, that is pretty much it. Thank you to Deanna. Thank you to Ethan so much for coming on. Thank you to everybody out there watching or listening. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been Comic Talk for the week of September 18th, 2025. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Bye.